Catherine White is assured of her place in the history of women's hockey. White established herself in the annals of the game when she scored the first goal for Canada's national under-18 team against the United States in Ottawa on August 23, 2007.
I actually scored the first ever program goal. It was a really nice breakaway goal. I actually cried when I scored because I was just like, wow, this is so cool. I'm kind of, living my dream.
The Brampton-born White, who at 5 foot 10 inches was an imposing presence on the ice, made an impact at the local level before joining Cornell University, where her scoring and playmaking prowess made her a star.
I think when I started to get older, like around 10 or 12 and playing hockey, I knew I wanted to get a scholarship and play in the United States. But I think even before then was probably trying to make the Olympics, because growing up I admired people like Cassie Campbell and Hayley Wickenheiser, so playing for Team Canada was definitely a goal of mine.
The product of Cardinal Leger Secondary School captained the Brampton Cadets to a bronze medal in the Ontario Women's Hockey Association OWHA Provincials in 2004, and the following year she was selected to represent the Canadian National Women's Under-18 squad. White then struck gold with the Team Ontario Red at the 2007 OWHA Championships, and added another gold the same year with Team Ontario at the Canada Winter Games. On the international stage, White was a member of Canada's Under-22 winning team in the 2010 MLP Cup in Ravensburg, Germany. A year later, Canada repeated as champion in Ravensburg, where White netted one of the 6 goals in the final.
I would say one of the big adversities I had as a player, after the U18s, my first time trying out for the Under-22s, I actually got cut from the program. So that was very, disappointing, but that really motivated me the following season to do really well. And that following season was actually my first year at Cornell in playing NCAA Division I. And I had actually a really great year. I was Rookie of the Year. Sure enough, the following year, I made the team Under-22s. So, that was definitely a feather in my cap, and I felt good about that because I find I'm very motivated when people say I can't do something. I just love proving them wrong.
White joined the Cornell Big Red women's ice hockey program in 2008 and recorded the most points by a Cornell freshman since 1979 to 1980, while finishing second in Cornell scoring. White led the Eastern College Athletic Conference ECAC freshmen in scoring and finished 4th among National College Athletic Association NCAA freshmen in points per game. The following season, White was recognized as Cornell's co-MVP. She led Cornell in scoring during her sophomore season in 2009 to 2010 and became the first Cornell women's hockey player to earn the ECAC Player of the Year award. She also received RBK Second Team All-American honors in her sophomore season. She led the ECAC in assists with 24 in 22 games. White topped the Big Red in scoring with 42 points on 13 goals and 29 assists, scoring 3 game winners and 3 power play markers. White scored in all but 6 of the games she appeared in during the season and had 11 multi-point games during the season.
My sophomore year at Cornell, it was really a Cinderella story of a team. We basically were maybe 30th in the NCAA. We weren't really a great team, but that year we ended up being number 2 overall in the country, and we just kept beating, as the season went on, beating teams that people were not expecting us to beat, to the point where we made it to the Frozen Four final. And the Frozen Four, number 1 plays number 4, and the odds were heavily favored for number 1, which was Mercyhurst, and we beat them in overtime, and I scored the overtime goal, and that was definitely one of the most memorable ones I have.
That year, the Big Red placed 2nd in the NCAA D1 rankings and was the first ever NCAA D1 final appearance by the Big Red.